Well, time for this week's pickup video. This week I went down to Charlotte, North Carolina on business. Hit a couple stores down there, visit a flea market. Well, not a flea market, a antique mall, I guess, over in Albemarle, North Carolina. I think it's what it's called, Albemarle. Anyway, show what pickups I got this week. Now, the first thing I picked up here, this wasn't a pickup I did this week. I actually got this from Dusty's Oldies and Goodies down there in Florida. I was looking at their Facebook page and this happened to pop up on there and I was like, whoa. So I actually bought it through the mail from them. So this was mailed to me. It wasn't a pickup. And that was a boxed, I'll flip over here, a boxed Atari home computer system. Awesome. 48K. Yeah. It works pretty good. The only problem it has is the keyboard doesn't work on it, and I believe there's a couple chips on the board that's not working. I took it apart and looked at it, and I could see signals coming from the keyboard through the ribbon cable down to the motherboard. So I think the keyboard's fine. It's just there's two interface chips, 8-bit multiplexers on the board that I think are messing up. I think they're CD 4051 chips or something like that. So I got a couple chips on order to replace, and hopefully that fixed. If it doesn't, then I have to go after the Pokey chip, which is the sound chip, which also handles some of the keyboard routines. So I'm trying the cheap chips first. Cheap, say that fast 5 times. Cheap chips first. There we go. Alright, now the next pickup. Now this is what I picked up on my trip this past week. This I've been looking for quite a while. It's an Intellivision System 3. Works perfectly fine. Has a nice clean picture on it. Awesome. Love the controllers. I like this a lot better than my Intellivision II controllers. So I finally found one of these. Makes me pretty happy. Came with a few games. Also came with a load of, I had a catalog with it. Also came with a bunch of manuals, overlays. Pretty cool, man. And here's the games I got with it here. First one was Royal Dealer. Has a few interesting card games on it. One of my favorites, Hearts, which is on this cartridge. It's quite a bit of fun to play. Not a bad little game. This card has some stuff wrong with it, though. You can see it has some, looks like model glue or something has been spilled on it. I don't care. I just want it for the games. Next one I got, well, I actually got 2 of them in the lot, was the pack-in cartridge that came with the Intellivision, the original Intellivision, the Ken Houston Poker and Blackjack. It's a good blackjack game. You know, I don't knock it. Just these cartridges are everywhere. It's like breeding like rabbits. Next one is a game I originally had on my Intellivision 2 when I got it, but it won't work because it just doesn't want to work on the Intellivision 2. Is I picked up a Carnival again. I love Carnival. Great game on the ColecoVision. Not too bad. A lot of fun to play. And of course, I got a hold of another Night Stalker. I've already got this in my collection, but now I got another one. And I picked up Lock and Chase. I love Lock and Chase on the Intellivision. Really fun game. I've already got this one. Matter of fact, I got 2 or 3 different copies of it. Got another copy. Yeah, also got Nova Blast. This game's awesome. It's like Defender. It's cool. I never played this game before, even in emulation on the Intellivision. I didn't know what this was until I tried it out. It's a cool game. Really enjoy it. And of course, I got Backgammon. It's Backgammon. It's okay. I also picked up Centipede for it. Not a bad version of Centipede. One of the neat things about this version, though, is if you hit the lower action button on the controller, it'll make your little Centipede guy, not Centipede guy, your little avatar guy go real fast to the side. It's great for escaping the spiders and stuff bouncing around or getting yourself out of trouble. It's like a little hyper warp. Get you out of trouble. And last game I got with that Intellivision 3 was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Treasures of Tarman. Is that Tarman? Does it say Tarman? Tarman? Boy, my eyes are terrible. Yeah, I think it's Tarman. Treasures of Tarman. I've got the original Dungeons and Dragons up there on my shelf. This is kind of neat because it puts you down inside the maze in a 3D perspective, looking down the hallways and stuff. You see the doors opening up and everything. So this was kind of neat. It's a different perspective than the original Dungeons and Dragons. I'm enjoying this. I've played it for a while. It's a cool game. Now moving on to some Game Boy pickups. I've been starting to collect various Game Boy games lately because there's a lot of good games on that system, and you get the games relatively cheap. First one I picked up is RC Pro-Ram. Really nice racing game on the Game Boy. I love the NES version of this game, and this is just as good. Controls are really nice on it. Cars respond well. It's an awesome game. Of course, I love Monopoly, the board game. So it was kind of cool to pick this up. I know I get a better version of it on the Game Boy Advance, but nah, this is only 50 cents, so add it to my collection. Then I picked up Serpent. A pretty unique little game. It's kind of like Snake and a combination of Surround, where you have your snake, an enemy snake, and you try to surround the other one to get him to eventually crash. It took me a while to figure out the controls on this because I was trying to use the D-pad to steer, and you don't use the D-pad to steer. You use D-pad left to turn your snake one direction, and then you use the A or B button on the other. There's a button all the way to the outside. You hit that to turn the snake the other way. So steering is like this. Direction pad left, and this button over there. A little hard. It takes a little getting used to, but it's a fun game. Then I picked up Dr. Mario. Not bad. Good little puzzle game. And then I picked up Chase HQ by Taito. I don't like this game. I tried it. Tried to give it a chance, and no, I don't like this game. So this will probably get into the prize drawer or something like that. Probably not going to keep it. Then I picked up Torpedo Range. Now, one of the games I really liked, older games, arcade games, was a game called Seawolf. Now, I thought maybe this might be a little bit like Seawolf when I saw it. Not quite, but it's close enough. You got multiple screens. You got a navigation screen where you got your ship running around on the screen trying to find another ship to battle. And then you're going to have a surface battle where you're shooting torpedoes. Not torpedoes, well, I guess they're torpedoes. From your ship up the screen to get some other ships. Or you'll have an undersea battle where you got a submarine fighting other submarines underneath the ocean surface. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to play. Not a bad little game. Of course, being for 50 cents, it's not going to be a bad game no matter what. Moving on, picked up a couple more games from my ColecoVision system. I found myself Star Wars, the arcade game, for my ColecoVision. This was $2 at the flea market. Awesome. It was actually identified as an Atari game, Atari 2600. And I looked at the end, I saw these little offset things on the case. I go, oh, that's not an Atari. Plus, it has the little indentation back here for the control pad it doesn't have. So that's a ColecoVision cart. So I snagged it pretty quick. Great version of the arcade game on the ColecoVision. It plays really nice. Just can't get used to the joystick controls. Basically, it's like airplane controls. You pull back and the cursor goes up, push forward, and the cursor goes down. I don't know why I can't get my hand around that, but I was getting used to it towards the end of playing this on my video I'm showing. And of course, I picked up the arcade classic, Frogger. Awesome version of Frogger on the ColecoVision. Thing is nearly arcade perfect. It's awesome. A lot of fun to play. I love Frogger anyway. So I had to pick this one up. This is another $2 game. It was with the Star Wars in the same place. Then I stopped at a store I like to stop at every once in a while called the Rabbit Hole down in Thomasville, North Carolina. And he had some Master System games on sale for 50 cents a piece. The first one was Great Baseball. Pretty nice little baseball game on the Sega Master System. And then we have Parlor Games. It has darts on it and pool, billiards. Billiards is probably the best game on here. It's a lot of fun to play, so I'll keep it just for that game there at billiards. And then we have Outrun, which is, it's Outrun. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Of course, 50 cents. How can you beat that? And the last one I picked up down there was Altered Beast. Pretty good game. It's a little jerky, being in 8 bits. It's like dum 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 dum. But it still plays really nice, so it's a fun game. But I prefer the version I got on my Sega Genesis over this one, though. And then I visited my Trade-It stores. Found me a couple games for my PlayStation. I picked up Blast Radius for my PlayStation 1 from the people who made Colony Wars. Made this game, and you actually can tell because it's an outer space combat game. Graphics are really great on it. The outer space battles are phenomenal. It's probably one of the better space games on the PlayStation 1 besides Colony Wars, which was my all-time favorite. That whole series, Colony Wars Vengeance, and Colony Wars Red Sun. I love that series. So this is pretty nice game to pick up. Then I found Resident Evil Nemesis. I like the Resident Evil series. I got the original Resident Evil on my PlayStation 1, I believe. But I don't have Resident Evil 2 yet. I got 2 of mine in 64. So now I got 3 Nemesis. I like to find these on my Dreamcast, though, instead. So eventually, when I find them on my Dreamcast, I'll probably get rid of this one here. But it's a good game. Good survival horror game. A lot of fun. And then for my Nintendo GameCube, I picked up Smashing Drive. Put out by Namco, I believe. Yes, Namco. Basically, you're driving a taxi and you're racing another taxi and run into everything and it crashes and things fly all over the place. It's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. This one I played for quite a while yesterday when I was trying to make videos, gameplay videos. I'll probably play this for about an hour the other day, just racing around on it. So it's a great little game. It's only $1.99, so not bad for a $2 game. Pretty awesome. So that's all the pickups for this week. Thanks for watching.